In when they jump on.
Yay, awesome. Hey guys, thanks for being on tonight. I'm super excited. Stephanie asked me, gosh, a while back if I would do this call, and it's just been sitting here in my calendar for probably a month. And so I've been looking forward to this and I've been planning this time with you guys. And the most important thing for me is, hey, Stephanie, will you mute? Oh, she got it. The most important thing for me is that you guys walk away from our time together feeling like you have everything that you want and everything that you need. And so this can be like as formal or informal as you want. You guys can ask questions in the chat. I'll try to keep my eyes on it. You can unmute and ask questions, and afterwards I'll totally be available. So if you guys think of something, then don't hesitate to write it down and ask me, because that is what is going to make our time together so awesome. So I will just jump right in and get started. And Stephanie was talking about her love for the Enneagram, and I have certainly, like, that has definitely been a tool in my life that I have utilized. And another something that I have gotten really into in the past couple of years, just on my growth journey, because I'm constantly on this leadership growth journey, is high performance and just being a high performer and someone who looks at life, not just in business, but in relationships and just spiritually and in my physical health, and just looks at the world through this lens of there's always this next level. And it's not this next level that is this crazy psycho sort of, do more just to say that I can check it off kind of level, but it really is this holistic view and approach to life, to where I can be doing business and I can be balancing, my marriage and my relationship with my kids and my relationship and walk with the Lord, and really just have peace and contentment, but still have that like core part of me, which is this drive and ambition, right? Because that's really who I am in my core. And one thing that we talk about a lot in high performance is we talk about courage. And that's where I want to start today. This whole topic and conversation isn't going to be about courage, but I want to start with that because I think that that's going to set the tone for the rest of our time together. And I want you guys to walk away from this call feeling like you've gotten a little bit of high performance coaching and feeling like you have raised your ambition and your desire for what you want out of this life a little bit more, okay? So high performers, which is the kind of mindset that I want you guys to be in tonight, which is, always wanting to hit that next level in your life. High performers, they say, as they're working towards high performance, that they take action despite fear so much more than others do. You're taking action despite the fear that you're feeling. And so many of us think of courage as this human like virtue, that some people are courageous. Some people just have courage and bravery and other people don't. But what I want you guys to know tonight is that courage it's a skill. It's something that anyone can learn. We all have this like courageous muscle inside of us. We just have to be willing to flex it a little bit, okay? And get in there and really decide that in this business, in our life, we are not going to be someone that shrinks back. We are not going to be someone that stays in our comfort zone. We know that courage doesn't equate to fearlessness. That's not what courage is. It's taking action amidst the fear that you are experiencing. I think about, the first time that you sit with someone and you share this opportunity with them, right? Like maybe you've never shared the opportunity with someone. Maybe you've never gone over the compensation plan and you're doing it for the first time. Well, you're going to be fearful. You're going to be a little bit anxious. But what happens is the more you do it, the more confident you become. So I want you to think about even the very first time that you posted on Facebook about Plexus, right? The first time you did that. How did you feel? Were you a little bit nervous? Were you a little bit anxious about doing that? What about the first time you ever posted in stories? I remember the first time I ever made a reel. Oh my gosh, yikes, right? And then the more that you do it, the more that you realize this isn't really as scary as it was in the beginning. But high performers have this bias toward action, even when the outcome is scary, it's risky, or it's uncertain. And that's really the piece of us that we have to tap into in order to reach that next level in this business, but not only in this business, in our relationships and in life. And so what I want you guys to do right now is I'm going to give you a quiet minute. Like, I'm actually going to set a timer on my phone, and we're just going to be silent for a minute. And I want you guys to actually do this exercise. Promise me that you'll actually do this thing. Give me a thumbs up if you're in and you're committed to actually doing what I'm asking you to do, because there's going to be a purpose behind it. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a minute, and I want you to tap into, and I want you to think about as many times in your past, like this could be when you were a child, when you were a teenager, when you're a young adult, as a mom, when you're married, as many times in your past as you can where you displayed courageousness. This can be in business, this can be outside of business, but I'm going to give you a quiet minute, and you're going to list times in your life where you had to tap into this courageous part of you. Okay, so I'm setting the timer. We're going to go right now. Okay, that's our minute. You guys tell me in the chat, how many examples did you come up with? This is just in a minute. Like, this is top of mind. How many examples of courageousness in your life could you think of in 60 seconds? Google Pixel 6 thought of 9 of them. Who else? Okay. Rebecca 6, Aaron 6, Shannon. Okay, Ashley has 10, 7, 8, 5, 4. This is so good, you guys. All right, who is willing to unmute and be a little bit vulnerable and to share a courageous moment? What has been the most courageous moment in your life that you could think of or that you could remember? Who's going to be brave? Who's going to be courageous and unmute and share?
I'll go. Oh, Karen, you go.
Sorry, Lauren.
Good, go.
Okay. When we were living in Florida and God suddenly told us to move to Missouri, where we knew no one and didn't even know where Missouri was on the map.
That is a great example. Is your family in Florida? Is that where you were from?
My husband's family is in Florida. Mine's in Connecticut, but I've been living in Florida for quite some time.
So that's where your community was. And that is a great. How old were your kids when you guys did that?
16.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Great example. Okay, Lauren, I want to hear from you too.
Okay, mine was church planting. I'm 26. My husband and I moved. He was 27 at the time. I was 24. We had a 5-month-old. We left all of our family and we moved away from them to church plant. Had no idea anyone was there, or we didn't know anyone there. And it was a really huge leap of faith on our end. So
church planting, leaving your family. You guys are in your 20s. That's a great example. These are amazing examples of courageousness. If you guys feel led, share yours in the comments. I would love to see anyone else that feels led to share their moment of courageousness that really just jumps out at them, that was like, this really, really pulled on that courageous muscle of mine. I've done this with women that I've coached with, and it's been, I mean, gosh, there have been so many incredible examples of men and women that have stepped out and made huge, huge changes in their life, big acts of courage in life. And so these are great, great examples. Now, I want you guys to know that courage really is the cornerstone habit. It's a habit, it's a skill, it's something you can get used to. You can get used to that uncomfortable feeling, not feeling like safe in your comfort zone all the time. This is a cornerstone habit of high performance. This is something that you're going to have to develop if you want to reach the next level in your business, okay? I want you guys to look, I mean, it could be courageous moments. I have women that have said, like, I've left abusive marriages, an abusive marriage. I have, you know, had a baby naturally, right? Like without any medical intervention. Women that have broken away from literally cults. Like, I mean, there have been like huge, big, courageous things. So I want you guys to really look at your list. I mean, we know cancer survivors, women that have, you know, fought, like medical stories of women being so, so brave. Look at your list. And now I want you to compare that to reaching out to someone about the Plexus business. Talking to someone about the pink drink. Okay, hosting an in-person event at your house with your friends with charcuterie and maybe wine, right? Inviting someone to lunch to tell them all the amazing things that you see in them and why you would want to partner with them in this business. Like these things that we do in this business that are so scary to us, that we just resist and resist, and we tell ourselves stories in our minds, and we are held back from doing the very things that we know can drive us toward the desired outcome that we have in this business. We tell ourselves, it's too scary. It's too uncomfortable. I can't get out of my comfort zone. Yeah, you, the same person that up and moved your family all the way across the country without knowing anyone, look at the courage that you have inside of you. Look at what you've already done. Look at what you've already accomplished. And what I want to show you guys right now, I want to just give you a little dose of perspective. If you can do these hard things, and if you can be courageous, and you have evidence, see, the thing is in order to create this new belief, because I want you to have the belief that talking to people about this opportunity, it's actually really fun and exciting and exhilarating, and it's gonna produce incredible results in your life and in your business, and it isn't scary at all. That's what I want you to believe. But in order to believe that, you have to have evidence that that is true, that you can do this without it being scary. And if you can fight and overcome breast cancer and go through months of chemotherapy, you can talk to some people about this business. It's just perspective. And high performers, which you are, which I want to challenge you to be, they have a bias toward action even when the outcome is unknown. And when we're reaching out to people and we're having these conversations, we don't know we don't have control over them. The only thing that we have control over are our thoughts and our actions. That's it. We don't have control over whether someone says yes or no. Do you want to know where I'm at in this business? I literally don't care. Do y'all hear me? I don't care if someone says yes or no. I don't care. I don't care if they want the pink drink. I don't care if they want the business. This is my posture and this is my attitude and this is the confidence that I have Like my confidence is so strong when I'm talking to someone and I'm like, I'm changing lives, I'm building this business, I'm doing this thing, whether you're going to be a part of it or not, and your yes or your no phases me exactly zero. Now, you might be thinking, this is really easy for her. She's at the top of the company. She has a diamond. Oh, look at her. She's a diamond. Look at her paycheck, blah, 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 whatever. But do you think that any other attitude or belief is what got me to where I am today? The answer is no. I've had this attitude and I've had this belief from the beginning, and it was this attitude and it was this belief that got me to where I am right now. I want you guys to understand that it is not, the outcome is always uncertain because you can't control other people. You cannot control other people. So you can't care whether they do or they don't. What you have to care deeply about is whether you do or you don't. That's what you need to care about. Am I the person that gets to work? Am I the person that has this bias toward action? I lean into action even when the outcome is scary, risky, or uncertain. We are all capable of the most incredible things that we could never imagine and that we will never discover without taking action. And the most inspiring acts of courage are the ones where courage is actually planned for. It's not the random like acts of courage that you have to display because they're literally hitting you from left field, right? That's like your knee-jerk reaction. That's like, I have to be courageous in this moment or I'm gonna die kind of thing, right? Like I have to be courageous in this moment because my mama bear is coming out. No, the acts of courage that are the most inspiring ones are the ones that you plan for. Meaning I'm planning to be an emerald. I'm planning for it. And I know that it's going to call me to step out and do some new things and learn some new skills and have some hard conversations and get out of my comfort zone. It's like we know that we're going to be getting out of that comfort zone. We know there's going to be a little bit of fear. And so we're preparing ourselves. We're studying. We're coming to trainings like this. We're increasing our skill set. We're getting the mentorship or coaching we need. We're facing our fears. And guess what, you guys? Your courage is contagious. When you are out there and you are sharing about your beautiful, courageous, full, rich life, that is so attractive to the people that you want to attract. Those are the people that are going to look at you and they're going to be like, whoa, girl is surrounding herself with some incredible people. She's accomplishing some amazing things. I've literally watched her grow. I've watched her transform her body, right? From unhealthy to healthy. I've watched her, the way that she talks on social media, change. I've watched her stand a little bit taller, speak a little bit more confident. The people that see that and that like it, that are like that, they're recognizing those are the ones that you want to attract. There are going to be some that see it and they literally won't be able to stand it because they're stuck in their hellacious life where nothing is ever going to get better and woe is them. And you're not trying to attract them anyway. Okay, you're wanting to attract the people that are looking at you step out into courage and they're like, I want that. I want that. That courageousness is contagious. And when you step out in courage, that's going to inspire your team. So for those of you that have a team, your team needs to see you growing and doing scary things in front of their faces. Like they need to see it because that's going to inspire that and that's going to light that fire inside of them. So I want to ask you guys today, where can you plan an inspiring act of courageousness? If someone asked me that, I'd be like, dude, I have no clue. That would be my response. Okay. So I'm gonna help you out with that. If you're like, I don't know, I don't even know, I don't know, where could I plan an inspiring act of courageousness? No clue. Okay. This is a question that I ask myself a lot. This is a question that you can ask yourself. I hope that you guys all have a future version of yourself in mind. Okay, so in this business, this might be the diamond version of yourself. If you're working towards health goals, like it might be this healthier version of you, right? Someone that like wakes up with energy every day, that your jeans slide on and you're not feeling like yucky and bloated after you eat. But we're gonna do business for this idea. We're gonna talk business. So maybe this is the diamond version of you, okay? The today version of you, you're not there yet. You're not there yet. There's so much that has to happen. There's so much you have to become the person that is the diamond version of your future best self. Okay. Let's go 5 years from now. Let's just say 5 years from now, version of you. You are older, you are wiser, you are stronger, you are more capable, you are more successful, you have grown as a leader, you have inspired people, you have developed people, you have increased that skill set. If she showed up on your door today, knock, 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 and she knocked on your door, and she looked at you and your current circumstances, you, the one that says, I want to be a diamond, but who hits the snooze button every day. And when they sit down and they get ready to work, they scroll Instagram instead. Okay. When that version of you, the diamond version, knocks on your door and she comes in and she sees the today version of you that keeps saying that you're going to do an in-person event, or that you're going to understand the products better, or you're going to talk to people about the business every day, or you're going to finally be consistent in sharing on social media, or you're going to follow up with people, or that you say that you're even going to just like take care of your customers and not just sign them and ditch them. Whatever it is, I don't know what it is, but that version of you, she's on your doorstep right now. That version, the diamond version, is looking at you, and what courageous action would that future self advise you to take right away to change your life? She's saying, hey, Ashley, hey, Cassidy, hey, Kim, hey, Jamie, hey, Margaret, hey, Karen, you want to be a diamond? You know what it is you need to do. You want to be making 5 figures a month? You know what it is that you need to do. You know, I know that you know what it is that you're supposed to be doing that you're not doing. Okay? And that, whatever that is, that's the next courageous step. That's that inspiring act of courageousness that you can do. It might be to sign up for convention. Literally, like you might not even know like how you're going to make it work. Don't know, but your next courageous step might be we get off this call, you pay, you sign up, you figure the rest of it out later. You have the conversation with your husband, you make it happen, you show up. I don't know what it is, but you do. You know what it is. You know what the thing is. Maybe it's here's what you need to stop doing. Maybe your next courageous action is to stop doing something. So knock, knock, knock. There's the you 5 years from now knocking on your door. Wiser, stronger, more capable, more successful, developed as a leader, increase their skill set, looking at you in your current circumstances. What courageous action would that future self advise you to take right away? Right away to change your life, starting or stopping something. If something came to mind, just tell me that something came to your mind so I can know that y'all are with me. Give me a thumbs up. Tell me something. Tell me something in the chat. Are y'all with me here? Okay. Then you need to ask yourself, what is my next practical step? Like, what is the next thing that I have to do? Practically speaking. Like if it's, I have got to wake up earlier in the morning, like that. Well, what's your next step? Go to bed earlier, set your alarm, like put some systems and routines in place. Like what is it? If it's that you have to be reaching out to people about Plexus daily, maybe your next practical step is to create a system around that to make sure you have the verbiage that you need. You need to know like how you're going to do that. Maybe it's to make a list of 30 people. So you know who it's, when you sit down, you already know who you're reaching out to for the next 30 days. I don't know, but you do. What's the next practical step that you need to take? Okay. So, Stephanie, how long are y'all's calls typically? I don't want to go over. Do y'all go for 30 minutes or an hour? What do y'all do?
Hey, we will go all night long with you on this call. Well, generally I feel like 45 minutes to an hour easily.
Okay.
So yeah, so no worries. And
Okay.
I think everybody would agree because the comments are blowing up that this is so good. So,
Okay. Well, I just didn't want to go over. I just peeked over there. I'm like, okay, because I do have, I wanted to start with courageousness. Okay. So hopefully that meant something to you guys. Hopefully that inspired something. Hopefully there was something in you that happened with that. But now I kind of having that foundation, what I want to do is I want to kind of pivot to something else. And that really is, I want to share with you guys how I work this is a little more practical. Okay. But courageousness. And now we're going to go into the practical. And I want to share with you guys how I work my business. And I really want to challenge you. If you're not doing this, I want to challenge you to do the same. I work my business in quarters. Okay. And we are coming to the end of quarter 1. And so I want that to mean something for you because I want you guys to do some reflecting on quarter 1. And I want you to be looking ahead to quarter 2. And I want to challenge you guys for the rest of 2024, for the next 30 quarters, to really be working your business in this way, especially if it's new and you haven't done this yet. So I want you guys to think back to January 1st, like the beginning of the year, when energy was high and you were thinking about your goals for the year. And I want you to think back to what was it that you wanted to accomplish for your business in 2024? Did you set a goal for 2024? Tell me, yes or no. Did you set a goal? If you did, share it in the chat. I want to know what your 2024 goal is. Let's hear it. Chelsea's on her way to diamond. Lauren's going emerald. Ashley's going diamond. Lynn's going emerald. Emerald, sapphire, blowing up with jewels. We're going to be blowing up with jewel promotions. I love it. Gold, emerald, all the way. Sapphire, then diamond. Loving this. Senior ruby, gold. Okay, this is incredible. This is incredible. So this was your beginning of the year goal, right? And what happens is when we set these goals at the beginning of the year and it's our year-long goal, what happens is time goes by and mentally in our mindset, we always think we have more time. We have more time. There's more time. Like it's only February, it's only March. I still have time to reach this goal. And our mind plays these tricks on us. Okay. But listen, if you're setting quarterly goals, I'm going to tell you, I have seen people accomplish more in 1 quarter than what they accomplish in a year because they're setting goals like this. And when you're setting goals quarterly, then it makes you confront your lack of execution immediately. If you have 90 days to hit your goal, your quarterly goal, then you don't get to hide. You don't get to have bad days. I mean, we all have bad days. Okay. We can all have, I'm just saying, like, I'm talking in extremes here. Okay. You can have a bad day, but if you have a goal and you're going to hit it in 90 days, then you don't get to make excuses over and over and over again. So realistically speaking, let's see if this is true. We're actually in this really great season of momentum right now with everything that's going on in the company. But I want you to look back at January 1st, look at your end of the year goal. And in quarter one, are you on track? Are you on track? If you took that goal and you broke it up into quarters to reach the end goal, would you say you were on track? Okay. So I want you guys to think of that. And what I want to say is we still have 5 full days in March. And we have some amazing things going on in the company right now. And so I want you guys to know, like, where you are now is where you are now. It's the reality of where you are today on this very day. But we've looked at our end goal, end of the year goal. We've thought about, are we on track for our quarterly goal? I want you to ask yourself, where am I on my monthly goal? Where am I at? Because you have 5 days. Take a minute to think through, reassess, and get clarity on what your end of the quarter one goal is. What is your end of the month goal for March? You have to have one today as we're closing this month. This can be a point goal. This can be an end of the month goal. It can be a development goal. It can be whatever it is that you want. It can be a convention contest goal. I don't care. But I want you guys to, there's 5 days. There's 5 days. It is not too late. It is not too late to go all in and to reassess. Maybe some of you guys already hit your monthly goal. So you are cruising. Like you're like, I've added my 6, I've got my watch, my points are good. I'm too far away from ranking up, so I'm not gonna push this month, right? Like I'm too far away. Or I'm set, like I'm good to go. That is not how high performers think. That is not how diamonds think. Diamonds don't think I'm there, I have my watch, I'm cruising to the end of the month. They look and they say there's 5 days left in this month, and there is so much that we can be doing. So we have a ton of jewels on this call. And I want to tell you I'm going to give you guys 2 tips. This is not just for the jewels, but especially you guys, because you guys have really big teams. This is for everyone. But 2 things that I want you to commit to in the next 24 hours is I want you to look at your report, and I want you to look at your reports. I want you to look in your virtual office, and every single person that has added 1 to 5 people, every single person that has added in your paid levels that has added 1 to 5 people is going to get a voice message from you. Not even kidding. It's going to go something like this. Lauren, I see you working so hard this month, and I am so proud of you. Girl, you have added 1 person already, and I know that you are going to lead them well, and you are going to take such good care of them, and they are in good hands with you because you love on your people and you take care of your customers, and I see you working hard. I want to know, where are you at the last couple days in this month? Because this Apple Watch incentive is so exciting and so fun. And I believe in you. I believe in you. And I know that we can earn you that watch and the income that comes along with it. What do you say? Are you open to going for it? I don't know. I just came up with that off the top of my head. Okay. But what you're doing is you're connecting with your people. You're congratulating them for the accomplishment that they've already made this month. They've already shared their referral link at least once. We want to help them to feel successful. They need to know that you see them and that you're proud of them. And then you are going to ooze belief all over them. Because in 5, they're going to have 5 days to add 5 more people. Easy. They can do this. They can do this. And they need to know that you see them and that you believe in them. Every person that has added someone should be hearing from their jewel upline. Okay? This month, because you want to leverage the incentive this month. You want to maximize it. Okay. The next thing is, and there's going to be some overlap here. So you're going to know when you're in your virtual office, how you're reaching out to people and what you're basing this on. But we have our rank rewards this month, you guys. That is huge. This is a huge opportunity. Plexus has committed to this for 3 months. Hopefully they'll do it for the year. But if they did it for 3 months, that's an extra $300 that Golds can earn in the next 3 months. That's an extra $450 that senior Golds can earn. That's an extra $600 that Rubies can earn. And that's an extra $750 that senior Rubies can earn in the next 3 months. Does anyone want that pay increase? Does anyone want their team to have that pay increase over the next 3 months? Okay. The beautiful thing about the way that this month is structured is that anyone who qualifies for rank rewards, they have to add 3 people. Some of you guys, some of you on this call, and some of you have people who actually have the points. They have the 120 points for gold, but they haven't added their 3. They need you. They need you to reach out to them to let them know, hey, did you know you're going to get this extra bonus if you add your 3 this month? Everyone on your team that earns rank rewards should have a shout out graphic on your team page recognizing them for earning this cash incentive. This is how we don't just wait for momentum to happen, y'all. I've never waited for momentum to happen a day in my business. My momentum, my team growth, my success, that is not on accident. I create the momentum because I'm going to be posting shout out graphics for people that have earned rank rewards. And Ashley's going to be like, wait a second, what? All these people are getting these cash bonuses. And all of a sudden she's going to go in her messenger and there's going to be a voice message from Melissa. And she's going to be like, all I have to do is add 1 more person and I'm going to get a $200 bonus this month. Awesome. And then the beautiful thing is when they add their 3, that's when you can be having the conversation about, hey, 3 more and we get you the watch. I mean, it's up to you. I'm so excited you got that bonus, but hey, if we add your 3 more, okay? This is working your business strategically. You guys just thought, like you thought you were done this month, right? Because we have momentum, our points are good, we've added our 6, or maybe you're really close, or maybe you're just focusing on you and you reaching your goal. But we need to be looking at our teams and seeing like, how can we help them reach their goal as well? This end of the month, this is full press. This is pedal to the metal. It's March, y'all. It's March and Plexus has given us some crazy, crazy incentives. So I want you guys to have clarity on what your end of the month goal is right now. What is it? I want you to commit to that goal. I want you to commit to the outcome. I don't want you just to hope that it happens. I want you to commit to making it happen. Are you going to grow your pay points by 50 points between now and the end of the month? 10 points a day. Or you know that you're going to get 120 points in sub orders, right? Let's just say when subscriptions go off on the 28th, you're going to get about 120 points. So you're going to commit to growing by 220. Like you're committing to the outcome. You're committing to making it happen. Then you're going to ask yourself, like, is this outcome that you're committed to, is it worth it to show up for 5 days? Can you do it for 5 days? Can y'all do it? I want you guys, like, if something matters to you, if it truly matters to you, if you want to be an emerald, if you want to go sapphire, if you want to go diamond, if you want to re-rank, if something matters to you, you do it daily. You show up for it daily. This has to be your mantra. You have to be saying this all the time. If it really, really matters to you. You guys, have y'all ever had scheduled dentist appointment on your calendar? Like, and it sat there forever. Have y'all ever had that? Like, you know that you have to do something and it sits there forever and you just don't do it, what is it for y'all? Does anyone have something that comes, what are you avoiding doing right now? Like something so simple. Scheduling the dentist appointment will take 5 minutes, but it sits on my calendar and I don't do it for 6 months, right? Because I just don't pick up the phone to make the phone call. The dentist, right? What are some other things that you know that you need to do? It might be the dirty dishes in your sink right now, that pile of laundry. It might be sending an email to someone, right? Mopping your dang floor, right? And the whole process of mopping your floor is probably not going to take 15, 20 minutes. The thing is, you guys, in our business, if we decide that we're going to do the main thing, y'all do know what the main thing is in this business, right? Sharing the opportunity, sharing the products, helping others share the opportunity, helping others share the products. That's the main thing. And if you decide beforehand that every day, Monday through Friday, you're going to share the opportunity, you're going to share the products. You're just going to do it every day. You've already decided it. You eliminate so much distraction. Having scheduled dentist appointment on your calendar for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, it just literally weighs on you. Isn't it the heaviest way? Like, schedule your OBGYN appointment, okay? Like, I know you're avoiding it, but it's just like weighs on you. You know it has to be done. You think about it, and then you think about it, and you're like, you make all these excuses. Same thing with our business. We know the thing that we need to be doing, but every day we wake up and we decide, am I going to do it today? Am I going to do the thing? Am I not going to do the thing? And then you sit down and you feel resistance. Then you start buffering, you start getting on your phone, scrolling Instagram, you go eat a cookie. Maybe you productively procrastinate. Maybe you go for a walk and you do something healthy or you do something good. It's just productive procrastination, right? Like you're avoiding the thing. You eliminate so much of this if you just decide beforehand. You decide beforehand that every day you're going to do the thing. So I want you guys to figure out what is your end of the month goal and determine if you are ready to show up for that goal for the next 5 days. And if you are committed, I hope that you're committed. It's going to force you to confront your lack of execution because you have 5 days to make your goal happen. Again, you're not going to get the bad days or the lazy days if you're chasing some big goals in the next 5 days. You just don't have the luxury of putting off the critical result producing activity for the next 5 days. So I hope you guys are challenged and inspired to look at what is that next level for me this month. Don't wait. This month, what is the next level for you? And who are you going to have to become in order to achieve it? Like in the next 5 days, who are you going to have to become? How are you going to have to change? How are you going to have to confront that lack of execution? How are you going to have to do some mindset work in order to achieve your goal? It's that future self that came knocking on your door, right? When we were talking about courage, you have to become her. Don't wait. Start tomorrow. Start tomorrow to step into becoming that person so you can get closer and closer to that future self. Okay? So I want to know, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to face that lack of execution? Are you ready to step out in courage? Are you ready to do something new for the end of this month? Are you willing to look at your goal and reassess it? Maybe stretch it a little bit more, because the you that showed up for Plexus today, you're going to be a different person showing up for Plexus tomorrow. So your goal needs to level up. You need to elevate your goal because you have to be pushing yourself to grow. You have to be. Okay. That's what I have for you guys tonight. I am totally here to answer any questions, whatever you guys need or want. I'm here for it.
Melissa, you are amazing. I just want to say this real quick and then I'm going to shut up because I want anybody else to unmute and talk here. But we've literally had people on this call that have commented in chats and in separate message chats that we're in that they registered for convention since you've like did this call. So like during this whole call, people are like, I'm registered. So I really want to applaud y'all who have done that. Leaders show up, man. Leaders who show up, go up. I don't know who said that. I heard that a long time ago in my Plexus business, and Melissa is an absolute example of that. So I'm glad you touched on that tonight. I just want to say something real quick, and this is just what came to me. I took like 3 pages of notes. So if you also me writing, this is something that comes to mind, and I've worked with Melissa personally. Melissa's an amazing coach. She's got her own coaching business outside of Plexus. This is what really resonated with me. If you're willing to learn, or I'm sorry, if you're not willing to learn, nobody can help you in this. I don't care who you signed up under. I don't care if you signed up under a diamond. If you're not willing to learn, nobody can help you. But if you are determined to learn, you will not be stopped. So I really wanted to say that tonight because a lot of what she talked about with being courageous, I very much felt that transitioning from law enforcement to Plexus. I've always joked with my team. Those of you guys on my team, I've said over the years, nobody needs to call 911 about a wrong order. You know, we'll fix it. We'll work it out. Everything's okay. There's no emergency here. But I'm here to tell you, one of the scariest things I did in my life was transitioning from that job into Plexus. And the reason being is because it was all about me. I had to bet on myself. And I think that so many of us do that when we step into this opportunity, whether we are in a full-time job, in a part-time job, students, stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home, parents, dads, whatever it is, whatever role we're in, when we step out and put ourselves out there on social media and put our name on something that we believe in, right? We're betting on ourselves. And that's really scary. And that's what came up for me when you talked about being courageous in this. So I just wanted to say that I applaud all of you guys who continue to do that every day. And I've talked to a lot of women in the coaching industry along with Melissa. And I will say this, one of the best things you can do is continue to show up, scary as it is, unapologetically and boldly say who you are, what you do, what you offer, because you need to get the people out of the way who aren't for you. I heard an expert one time who's like she's in like copywriting, and she copyrights for a lot of people who I guess it was a quotation set off
Like that. I wanted confetti.
I know, I'm like, what was that? But I was talking to like this girl who this woman who has like a very successful copywriting business where she writes, she works with just high earners and people who are, extremely successful in our industry and coaches and stuff like that. But she just said, she's like, she used this phrase, she's like, you got to throw rocks. You got to throw rocks at the people, like not at the people. You got to throw rocks, meaning like you have to put yourself out there and you have to say what you do to get those people out of the way, because the people who are for you will come forward. So it's just really just being bold, being unapologetic, and just honestly, you guys, just being matter of fact about it. So I'm going to shut up now because I would love anybody have any questions, comments. I would love for other people to share on this too.
So good, Stephanie. So good.
Melissa, I'll unmic and ask. I have been a big fan of yours since I started Plexus 8 years ago. I'm a former elementary teacher too, and I've just always loved your energy. And one of the things that I'm always curious about is you have such amazing energy and you have such strong belief and confidence, and it's just palpable. How do you how do you maintain that? Because you go through valleys just like the rest of us. How do you maintain that energy? How did you like get it going in the beginning? Is it something that you've innately had, or like what's the fire that keeps you going from within?
Yeah, that's such a good question. So I'm going to go back to high performance because that's the world that I'm living in right now. And, you know, a high performance habit is courage, but another high performance habit is energy. And there are so many people that they are victims to their energy, right? They're tired all the time. They're busy all the time. They're always stressed out. And it's like, it's this like self-fulfilling prophecy of like, I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. I'm so busy. I don't have time for anything, you know? And I have always just been aware that energy is something that absolutely can be generated. We generate our energy. I am not a victim to my circumstances. I would say I bend more towards being like a more energetic person. I have that fire and passion inside of me. That's kind of the core of who I am. But I work with a lot of women that don't necessarily naturally match my energy levels, but they generate that energy. And it's like, you have to keep close to the fire, you guys. If I'm looking specifically at it from a business standpoint, you have to look at, and let's just do this really quick, okay? Because this is a great practice. I want you to think back to a time in your business when you were the most energetic, when you had so much energy, enthusiasm, excitement. Think back to when like you woke up in the morning and you were like really pumped up about Plexus and you couldn't wait to get into your messenger. You couldn't wait to reply to your people. Like, can y'all go back to a time when you've had that feeling and the energy? You're looking for when in the past have I had that energy? Then you're going to look at that and you're going to identify why. What about that time made me feel so energized? Probably it had something to do a little bit with maybe momentum. Maybe it's who you were talking to, who you were surrounding yourself with. Maybe you had a customer who was having really great experience with the products. Maybe it was because you had a runner. What was it about that time that felt energetic? What were you doing as far as personal development? You can zoom out a little bit more and you can be like, what were you eating? What were you drinking? Were you getting sleep? Were you moving your body? Like, we can look at the actual like physical energy and the things that you do to create that physical energy inside of you. But you can generate this. And you know how, because you've done it before. And so you're going to revisit that and you're going to say, okay, how do I create that right now? And you have to stay close to the fire, you guys. You have to. Then the opposite of that is, I want you to do an energy check right now. And I want you to think about, what are the things that deplete my energy? Is it scrolling on social for too long? Is it eating like garbage? Is it being in chats that are like life-sucking? Is it having to follow up with the same 25 people for 3 years? Because you haven't reached out to anyone new, because you haven't gotten any new conversations started. Is it opening up your, like, what is it that's depleting and how do we change that? And so for me, it's just recognizing what it is that brings me the energy, staying close to that fire, and then also just like continuing to fill my mind with the good and intentionally pursuing growth. That always brings energy for me personally.
That is awesome. Like I have never had that thought, like just putting it into words like that, the energy is a habit. That's so good. Thank you. So good.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Do y'all know people like that? That it's like they're tired all the time. They're literally tired all the time. I'm like, well, of course you are, because you tell yourself you're tired all the time. And your habits are awful. You're staying up all night. You're eating like garbage. Your face is in front of blue light all day, every day, scrolling. You're overworking, or you're not passionate about what it is that you are doing. Of course you're tired all the time, because you're a victim to your circumstances, but you don't have to be a victim to your circumstances. This is your life. You have one beautiful life that you get to live. I want you to live it daily. It's a choice for you to wake up daily and decide that you are going to be fully present, that you are in this becoming phase. You are becoming this future version of yourself. I want you to feel passion and enthusiasm towards what it is that you're doing and your purpose here, because God brought you here for a purpose and a reason. It is not by accident. I don't want you to take the good thing that you have for granted. I want you to be stepping out and stepping into that with confidence and boldness every single day.
Noelle or Rebecca, Kim, you guys have anything before we wrap it up?
Melissa, thank you so much. Like, you are incredible. And I love how you said that, you know, not only is it a habit, but it's what you tell yourself and the actions you take. Like, I think if everybody changed their identity and who they are, they would start having different results in their life and they would naturally have energy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hi, Noelle. Well, thank y'all so much for having me. What I want for you guys so badly is for you to go close this month strong. I want you guys to reassess your goal, like reassess and ask yourself, like, what am I doing? How am I adjusting? And I want you to go all in for 5 days. The feeling that I hate the most is the feeling of regret. And I do not want you to wake up on April 1st and you're going to see all these Apple Watch announcements and you're going to see all these people that grew their points and you're going to see all these people that hit their rank rewards achievement bonus. And you're going to think, this is what you will think. You'll think, if I could have done that. Like, if I would have went all in, I actually could have done that too. That's what you're going to think. You're going to be like, dang it, I let this month go by and I could have. That is the worst feeling. I do not want you to wake up on April 1st with that feeling. I want you guys to execute in the next 5 days, get into action, do the things.
Yeah. Amen, sister. Melissa, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. This was amazing. I know everybody loved this. Our chat has been blowing up. I've been getting so many personal texts as during this call. So we can't thank you enough for just, pouring into our team like this. So thank you.
Well, thanks for having me. You guys have a good night.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Melissa.
Bye, y'all.
Good night, everybody.